Today we're going to be turning one of the bedrooms into Louise's studio. We have 4 bedrooms in the house, but now that the kids have left home, we don't need them all. So Louise has decided to turn one of the bedrooms into a studio. So come with me and I'll show you. You might recognise this hallway if we've been down here before. So here's the room. It's basically just a storage room at the moment. We're babysitting some cats for our son who's overseas, and what we're going to do is get everything out. We're going to repaint the room, and this is going to match the previous 2 bedrooms we've done, and then we're going to fit it out for a studio for Louise, and that means we're getting a whole new colour scheme, new fan, new lights, and we're getting new curtains. This is going to be themed around one of Louise's paintings again, and that's going to be the scheme that we'll be using for all the accessories and fittings. So come with me and I'll show you what we're going to do. And here we have one prepared room. We're just going to pop off the covers, ready for painting, and then we'll start giving the walls a bit of a wash down and undercoat. So we're also going to be taking off the doors and readjusting the hinges. They have sagged a little bit over the years, so they need a small amount of adjustment so they don't stick, and to even up the gaps. We're also going to be changing the door handles out to match the new ones we've done in the other 2 bedrooms. Alright, let's get to it. Well, it's day 2 on the build. Thought I'd give you a look about what we got to last night. So last time when we painted these rooms, we actually gave it 3 coats of paint, and I think that this time what we're going to do, or what we have done, is taken the darker paint at the bottom and given it a coat of sealer so that it'll cover better. We've done a little bit of patching of the walls. I've fixed those cornices. I'll probably just need a little bit of a light sand where the old curtains used to be. I'll have to give them a sand as well. I've adjusted the doors, beautifully gapped now, and they work really well. And that's the room. Last night we went shopping. We've bought a beautiful piece of laminated pine for a bench top, which Louise is going to use for her painting table. And we bought a couple of other things. We've got a floating shelf and some legs for the table. We've also bought a few knickknacks. We've got a new handle, paint pot with a few bits in it, rebate kit, new silver one because the other ones are brass, and some oil enamel which is going to be used for an old filing cabinet, plan filing cabinet that we have. We're going to repaint, and Louise is going to use it for storage. Cats come for a visit as well, so let's get started for today. So I've just marked out the positions of the holes, which lines up with the holes on the plan. I've drilled out holes either side, which will be the unlatch for the privacy set, and these two tie the two together, so they need to go halfway from each side. Then I'll drill back again from the other side. Drilling them back from two sides just means that they'll line up and it won't break the timber on the back. So these two parts here go together. That allows the handle to spin independently on each side. That's what happens in privacy sets, so that we can have the inside opening separate from the outside, so it unlocks automatically. They just need to be loose. Okay. And they'll go through. These only go one way, so you need to make sure they're on the right side. Going down, going down. What have you? Just needs a bit of adjusting, and then we'll screw them in. So today's another day. It's a bit wet outside. Last week we did all the lower parts of the panelling. This week we're going to paint the top. What I've done is I've already cut in around all the edges, and now we're going to give it a roll of the walls and the ceilings. So we've got this beautiful pine bench. It's just a laminated timber, and we're going to turn it into a table for Louise's studio. And it's a perfect size. We've just done the underside of it with a primer to keep it sealed. Now we're going to put the legs on it and flip it over and give it some proper paint for the top side. So the legs are going to sit somewhere in here like this, and then we're going to screw them in to the top side. So walls and ceilings are painted, doors are painted. Let's fit out the doors and paint the rest of the timber. So we've finished painting the room, we've painted the walls and ceilings, we've painted and installed the doors. We're now just finishing off the sanding on the timber trim, and then we're going to give them a coat of clear. There's a couple of spots that might need two, and that'll be the room done. All the timber, all the walls, all the ceilings, and we'll be almost ready to move in. So now that the room's done, we're going to start doing a little bit of fitting out. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pop up this floating shelf right about there. So after many weeks, including the plan cabinet, here's the room.